Dr. Ernie Maglischo, a friend of the International Swim Coaches Association and a Hall of Famer, who also got inducted into the Hall of Fame with the ASCA this fall, has two ebooks that are available that he's just updated this volume 2 that has to do with propulsion. He's meticulous about his research. He's been a fabulous coach and won many titles throughout the years.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
And with Christmas and the holidays coming up, these ebooks would make a splendid gift for your coaching friends. So check it out at swimisca.com. You'll see a link to the coaching ebooks, and they're being presented with the help of SwimSmart.
You ever watch an Olympic swimmer just glide through the water and think, how on earth do they do that? It seriously looks like magic. But it's not. It's pure physics. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and unlock the secrets to swimming fast, all based on the amazing work of the legendary coach, Dr. Ernie Maglischo.
So first things first, let's get a handle on the challenge here. Water is over 800 times denser than air. Just let that number sink in. 800. Every single move a swimmer makes, they are pushing against something that's almost a solid compared to what we deal with every day. It's this huge invisible force.
And Dr. Maglischo put it perfectly with this quote. He said, swimming is like trying to navigate through syrup. I mean, can you imagine? So the big question is, how do the best swimmers in the world not only fight the syrup, but make it look so effortless? Well, they win because they understand the syrup. They get the physics. And in scientific terms, that syrup is called resistance. It is the single biggest enemy trying to slow them down. The official term is resistive drag, and really all that means is it's the water pushing back on you as you try to move through it. So before you can even think about generating power or going fast, you have to figure out how to beat this force. It's absolutely job number one.
So, if drag is the villain of our story, then streamlining is the hero. The first key to swimming fast is to become as hydrodynamic as possible. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to turn your body into a sleek human torpedo. And here's what that means in the simplest terms. Your only goal is to create the smallest possible hole in the water as you move. See, it's not about overpowering the water. It's about being sneaky, slipping through it with as little disturbance as you can.
And this slide just shows it all. Look on the left. That's a torpedo. The body is flat, it's aligned, it's tight. Now, look at the right. A head that's too high, that makes your legs sink. Hips swinging all over the place, that makes you wider. Each one of those little mistakes is like opening up a parachute in the water, just killing your speed and wasting a ton of energy.
And those mistakes create two main kinds of drag. Form drag is all about your body's shape. You know, the sinking legs and swinging hips. Wave drag comes from all the splashing and the waves you make on the surface. A perfect streamlined position, though, it fights both of them at the same time, making your path through that water so much smoother.
Okay, so you've minimized the drag, you've become a torpedo. Now for the other side of the coin. How do you actually create the force to move forward? Well, this is where you stop being a torpedo and start being a propeller. Now here is one of the biggest misconceptions in all of swimming. We think that we're supposed to just pull water backward, but that's not it at all. The best swimmers, they do something totally different. They basically anchor their hand and their forearm in the water, creating a fixed point, and then they use their core and their back to pull their entire body past that hand. Think about that. They move themselves, not the water.
The fancy science term for this is shoulder adduction. But on the pool deck, everyone just calls it the early vertical forearm, or EVF for short. And that name tells you everything. The goal is to get your forearm into a vertical position as early as you can in the stroke, turning your entire arm from your elbow to your fingertips into one giant, powerful paddle.
Okay, so let's walk through this. Step 1, your hand enters the water. Fine. But the magic, the real secret sauce, happens in step 2, tipping that elbow up high. See how that lets the forearm just drop down into that perfect vertical paddle in step 3? That's your anchor.
And from that point on, step 4 is all about launching your body over that anchor point.
Now, this brings up a really good question, right? I mean, if you want to go forward, why wouldn't you just pull your arm in a straight line right back? It seems like it would be the quickest, most direct path.
But the answer is pretty surprising. The science shows that a curved S-shaped path is actually way more powerful. And here's why. By following that curve, you're constantly finding still water to grab onto, instead of just pulling through water you've already churned up. This means you can apply force for a longer period of time, which makes for a much more powerful and, believe it or not, a more efficient stroke.
Okay, so now it's time to put it all together. Because the real genius, the art of elite swimming, is combining these two completely opposite ideas, being a torpedo and being a propeller, at the exact same time.
This is where you see the true mastery of swimmers like Katie Ledecky or Aaron Pearsall. They are absolute wizards at this. Their stroke isn't just one thing. It's this beautiful, fluid dance between minimizing drag and maximizing force, constantly. Let's break it down by just looking at one arm. While that arm is recovering, when it's out of the water, it has one and only one job: be invisible. It needs to be relaxed, streamlined, and just skip back to the front with the least amount of fuss possible. But, and this is the amazing part, at that exact same moment, the other arm, the one that's underwater, has the complete opposite job. It is fully engaged. It's a powerful, anchored paddle using that EVF technique to launch the body forward. So you have one arm being the torpedo and the other being the propeller. And then with every single stroke, they switch. It's a beautiful thing. So when you put all this biomechanics and physics together, from being a torpedo to being a propeller, what is the one big secret that kind of floats to the top? It's this: technique trumps power. Every single time. You can be the strongest athlete on the planet, but if your technique is sloppy and you're fighting the water, you are going to lose. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it?
The fastest swimmers aren't the ones who pull the hardest. Rather, the fastest swimmers are the ones who slip through the water the easiest.
The fastest swimmers aren't the ones pulling the hardest. Speed isn't about brute force. It's about elegance. It's about efficiency. It's about working with the water, not against it. And that really leaves us with one final thought, because this core lesson of swimming, it's not just for the pool. In pretty much anything we do, fighting against resistance is a losing game. The path to speed, to getting better, to mastery, it's always about being more streamlined. So the real question to ask yourself is, where in your life are you fighting the water, and how could you become more streamlined?
Merry Christmas, 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 Merry Christmas.
This hand is not a Christmas tree. It lights up like a Christmas tree, but it's showing some great research that Dr. Maglischo is going to reveal in our next podcast, or a future one, about propulsion. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned, subscribe, and do consider getting Dr. Maglischo's ebooks for your coaches.